What is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Simone Raider back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be previewing the Raiders versus the Rams first game in preseason. Raider football is finally here, and we've waited, it feels like, years for this day to come, and I can't wait to see the Raiders go mano a mano with the Rams tomorrow in Oakland at Ring Central, formerly known as the O.Co, in the last preseason game in Oakland. Yes, it's the last preseason game in Oakland because the next home game that we do have is going to be against the Green Bay Packers in Canada. So, you know, we're not going to really have another game here in Oakland until the Donkeys come into play against the Raiders in Oakland on Monday Night Football. But before I get started with this video, you guys already know the deal. If this is the first time you're watching this video, then hit that subscribe button and hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. So, Raider Nation, without further ado, let's get started with this video.
You tell them one thing, just win, baby.
So today I'm going to be previewing the game, but before we get started with that preview, I'm going to hit you guys with the Nation news. So the Raiders had joint practice with the Rams before heading into their preseason game going into tomorrow. A lot of things went on. You know, we got to see a lot of different things from all the different players. Aaron Donald showed up, obviously Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, and the whole Rams team. They showed up in Napa Valley and they had a couple scrimmages here and there, and some players looked good, some players not so good. A lot of action went on yesterday. Derek Carr was slinging the ball against that Rams defense and it looked pretty good, especially that one deep touchdown to Hunter Renfrow in the back of the end zone with that toe drag swag. But Hunter Renfrow is one guy I'm really excited to see. I actually got to take a picture with him at training camp. If you guys can see right here, bro, pretty cool guy. From everything I've been hearing, Hunter Renfrow is looking like a beast in the slot, so that's pretty good. On top of that, Derek Carr slings a 50-yard touchdown pass to JJ Nelson. That got the whole crowd hype, and that does show that Derek Carr does still have an arm, you know, just for those guys that think that Derek Carr is just a game manager. Please. But it's joint practice, and what's a joint practice without a fight? Obviously it had to happen. It didn't happen on the first day, but it happened yesterday, and a whole scuffle went on between some Rams players and Raider players. It was said that Raiders tackle Tyler Romier was in the middle of a fight, including Aaron Donald, and punches were thrown. Obviously, we're gonna see it on the next episode of Hard Knocks next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. Bruh, I'm serious. I should really get paid for plugging that in like every single time. But let's get back to it. Can't wait to see what really happened on Hard Knocks. Not too long after that, we lose Gabe Jackson to an injury, and I'm gonna get to that a little later. But we've seen a lot of action in training camp between the Raiders and the Rams, and it didn't stop there. Marcus Peters actually gave the finger to some of the fans at the training camp. Some fans were heckling Marcus Peters, and you know he's a huge character as well, and he's part of that Bay Life too. So if you're gonna talk smack to him, he's gonna give you the finger. I know Marcus Peters can't stand it, but you know, we're Raider fans, deal with it. And now we get to the bad news, where Gabe Jackson suffers an injury, and a lot of Raider fans were questioning what was gonna happen. Later on, they seen Gabe Jackson walk into training camp with crutches on, and that was a huge blow. And also, like, hearing the fact that he's gonna be out for 8 weeks is a huge blow to the Raiders offensive line and for this offense as well. John Gruden even came out and stated that he's concerned as well about Gabe Jackson's injury.
Now we're concerned, obviously, really concerned about him, but we'll get more information here when we can be specific. Yeah, he just got rolled up a little bit. Unfortunate. Hope he's okay.
But later on, we did find out that he will be out for about 8 weeks, which is a huge blow for this offensive line, man. I was really looking forward to see how this offensive line gels, especially for the talent that we have on this team, especially with bringing in Richie Incognito and Trent Brown to this offensive line. I felt like we could have been one of the top offensive lines in the league, but now that we lose Gabe Jackson and we're gonna lose Richie Incognito for the first 2 games, we're looking a bit thin on the offensive line, especially at the guard position, and I hope that doesn't affect this offensive line, because if Derek Carr has a really great offensive line, you've seen what he can do, and especially in 2016, he was balling out, MVP status. Don't at me. If he doesn't have a line, then you're gonna see the Derek Carr from last year. Great numbers, didn't have a real good season. All in all, I hope we do find a replacement out there. And during training camp, they had Denver Kirkland and Jordan Levy rotate in at the right guard position just to practice throughout the day and Gabe Jackson's absence. But still, that's not starting caliber guards, you know, not to knock anybody, but you know, the Raiders are already thin. A huge question that pops up in my head is, should the Raiders go out and bring in an offensive line, whether it's trading for somebody or finding someone in free agency? I don't know who's still out there. If you guys know who's out there that we could go pick up, throw it down in the comments below and let your boy know, because I really don't know who's out there, other than I seen a tweet earlier today that, oh, John Gruden should call up Washington and talk to his brother about bringing in Trent Williams for a trade, you know, maybe throw in a first-round pick or a second-round pick, who knows. I mean, Trent Williams is a huge upgrade for this huge offensive line, and I wouldn't mind having him on the team, but that's another big offensive line. You know what, I hope nothing but the best for this team, and hopefully this offensive line can gel together. Now, before I get started with this preseason preview between the Raiders and the Rams, we're gonna take a little commercial break from our sponsors. Now, this video is sponsored by One Nation Fanwear. Go to onenationfanwear.com for all your Nation gear. There is a lot of great quality, from their t-shirts to their hoodies and even to their hats. And also check out their Ken Stabler G.I. Joe parody t-shirt. All proceeds from the snake inspired design at One Nation Fanwear are donated to the XOXO Stabler Foundation. There's only one place you can find all this high quality Nation gear, and that's at onenationfanwear.com. Link down in the description below. Also, I do want to throw in shout out to my boy Raidernation for Lifer on Instagram for hooking your boy up. He gets a lot of patches, a lot of dope flags, hats, t-shirts, as you guys can see right here. So go hit up his Instagram and go cop your gear today. Now let's get started with this preview. So the first game, unfortunately, is going to be more youth than vets. It was announced that no starters will be playing, only most of the young guys, I guess. John Gruden came out and stated, you're not going to see some of the starters. You're just not going to see them. You saw them today. You saw them yesterday. They took about 120 reps. So we're going to take a look at some young players, some guys that need the opportunity. I don't have that for you right now, but I have it for you tomorrow. So with that, obviously we were going to see guys like AB, because AB was not going to play during the preseason anyways, and that was announced way earlier this year. But we're not going to see DC out there. We're not going to see Tyrell Williams out there. We're not going to see Darren Waller. Maybe we'll probably see Darren Waller. I don't know. By the looks of it, I don't think we're going to even see the players on defense like Perfect and Tahir Whitehead. I mean, this is kind of a huge blow for us, because, you know, we're excited to see the Raiders and we're going to see everybody play. I feel like we're still going to see guys like Josh Jacobs and Hunter Renfrow. They're going to get some snaps here and there. Like they said, we're not going to see a lot of the vets, but it's okay. We get to see a lot of younger players because they do have a roster to fill and they want to get the best out of all these players. So are you guys okay with that? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You know, keys to the game. So I got 3 keys to the game and what we have to accomplish in this game for us to win. Number 1 is winning in the trenches. I want to see how this offensive line gels in its first game together, especially against a top tier defensive line like the Rams. Even though we may not see guys like Donald or other top tier defenders, I want to see how this line will hold up. Gabe Jackson will be out for a couple of weeks, so we'll see how good our offensive line depth will be. And also, we have to keep that quarterback clean, especially Derek Carr and Nathan Peterman. Enough said. Number 2. Young Guns debut. This will be the first time for all rookies to show their talents, from the first rounders to the undrafteds. I want to see how Farrell and Abrams does on the defensive side, even guys like Max Crosby and Trayvon Mullen. On the offensive side, I hope to see some reps from Jacobs in at least 2 drives. Hunter Renfrow should be getting a lot of slot work as well, especially because Gruden said that there will be no starters playing, only some of the young starters. So there's a lot of players that we can see out there that I hope to see out there. A lot of our young players that we draft should have a lot of reps, and the praise that I've been hearing a lot about Nick Nelson from John Gruden, I hope to see how he plays as well. And Eric Harris, who had a huge season coming out last year, not stat wise, but you know, on the field, I wonder how he'll play as well. Last but not least, number 3, be smart. I just want our offense to be smart and make some great plays out there and create no turnovers. And I'm talking to you, Nathan Peterman. No turnover. Players to look out for. Now, I want to just name out 5 players that I'm looking forward to seeing in the first preseason game. So let's get started with it. Number 1, Hunter Renfrow. Obviously, I want to see how he plays, especially in the slot. As much love as he's getting during the offseason, I just want to see it all come to work on the field. Number 2, Arden Key. Now, Arden Key last year, we all know, had about 15 QB rushes and missed all 15 of those sacks basically. Now with a little more help on the defensive line, I want to see how he does this year. Hopefully he gets a sack in this game, and that's all I'm looking forward to seeing, and especially applying more QB pressure, especially with the added weight that he was supposed to have during this whole offseason. So we'll see how that all pans out. Number 3, Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson, who we drafted in the 4th round, is a tall, lengthy cornerback. I just want to see how well he covers tall wide receivers or even big tight ends. You know, hopefully he does put in some work tomorrow and maybe get a pick. Who knows? Number 4, Foster Moreau. I don't know how much we're going to see from Darren Waller or even maybe Luke Wilson, but I believe that Foster Moreau is going to get some time to go out there and ball out. I want to see how well he does with his pass catching ability, even blocking on the offensive side. And last but not least, number 5 is my boy, Nathan Peterman. I ain't even lying. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? What are you talking about? Bruh, trust me, Nathan Peterman, I'm actually excited to see him. I seen him at training camp and he was throwing some darts out there, and John Gruden actually showed some love to Nathan Peterman. So I want to see how he does out there on the field against a defense for the first time in a Raiders uniform. Obviously, he hasn't had the best history on the football field, but that's all in the past. I want to see how it does on the Raiders, and hopefully he can shut some haters up and maybe be a good backup quarterback for Derek Carr. So that is it, Raider Nation. I just want to give you guys my preview for the Raiders and the Rams preseason game. I'm really excited to see the Raiders finally be on the field, man. After all this training camp, from free agency to the NFL draft to Hard Knocks to now, man, I am really excited to see how all this gels. Obviously, I can't wait for the actual season to start because we're going to see Derek Carr, AB, Josh Jacobs, you know, everybody be playing. I'm going to try to stray away from score predictions because I feel like most of it is biased, even though I don't be biased with my opinions, because I actually predict sometimes other teams winning, and a lot of Raider Nation don't like it until we actually lose. But you know, I want to stay away from that. Today, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this show and put the segments together. If you guys enjoyed this type of preview video with all the different segments, then let me know down in the comments below and hit that thumbs up button to let me know that this is actually entertaining to you guys and you guys will actually watch this. Because if you guys do, then I'll do this preview show every single week before the actual game starts. So like I said, let me know. And with that said, Raider Nation, this is your boy Samoa Raider, and until the next video, your boy is yeah.